This is a neo-Nazi ideology on display. They wear GoPro cameras. They rent U-Haul trucks. They spent the time traveling up and down ISB during the 500, yelling obscenities from the back of the truck. Clearly, I don't see anything that people can say this is First Amendment. This is nothing but pure evil. And I want to share this. There's a lot of people in this room, and there's a lot of people around this country of the Jewish faith who are on their hit list. They try to besmirch your character. They try to put death threats out on you and threaten you and your family. Well, I wear that as a badge of honor because I, too, by these clown group, want to shut my big mouth and put a bullet in the back of my head. Go for it. That's my message to you. Go for it. You want to try to get into my computer and plant child porn in there with a group of people that have an IQ of a 12? Go for it. I challenge you, go for it. You want to put surveillance on me 24 hours? Go for it. And the best of all, you're going to dox me and make me unelectable? Go for it. You came to the wrong county. I stand with my Jewish friends, and I'm honored to be on your hit list. It's an honor to be sought after by a bunch of punk thugs like you. That's my personal message. With that, I'll turn it over to people who are calmer. With that, I will turn it over to people who are calmer. Our legislative delegation, led by Senator Wright, Representative Fine, Representative Leak, and Representative Chase Tremont.
Well, thank you, everybody. I am not from Volusia County, but my name is Randy Fine, and I represent Brevard County, just to the south. And I have the distinction of being the only member of the Florida legislature who has had someone arrested, prosecuted, and convicted of making a death threat against me. And there's a reason for that. It's because I'm Jewish. I'm the only Jewish member of the Republican Party elected at the state level. So I came up here to stand with my colleagues, all of whom join me to say this is unacceptable. There was a German Lutheran preacher in World War II who said that silence in the face of evil is evil itself. And I want to acknowledge what Sheriff Chitwood has done today. I hope that every sheriff, I hope that every elected leader around this state watches that. Because what I am seeing today reminds me of what I studied as a child. If you go back and you study the 1930s, the Nazis did not go from nowhere to in charge overnight. It began with this kind of behavior where people said, nobody thinks this way, not many people feel this way, they will never end up in power. And just a few years later, 1 in every 3 Jews in the world were dead. And it would have been them all if it weren't for countries like the United States. Now, we're doing something about this in Florida. We have a bill, HB 269, that will make clear that while you have the right to be an idiot, and you have the right to be a Nazi, and you have the right to walk down the street and say whatever you want, that when your speech turns into conduct, that is where we draw the line. There is no First Amendment right to litter. There is no First Amendment right to graffiti. There is no First Amendment right to assault. There is no First Amendment right to block someone's access to the place where they pray. In Florida, if you do that, you're going to go to jail. And you're going to go to jail for a very long time. Now, I'm proud that all of my colleagues up here are co-sponsoring this bill because we're going to do something about it. I do this because I have 2 boys of my own. They are 14 and 11. When I was a 13-year-old boy, I was hurt many times where I grew up for the crime of being Jewish. But back then, people were ashamed. They knew it. They hid. They wouldn't admit it. What has changed today, as you can see here, is they don't wear masks. They put it on the internet. They're proud of these beliefs. So I say make them famous. Let them know, and we need to let them all know. But I will tell you, my own children have had to deal with this. It's nothing a 14-year-old boy should have to experience. So we are going to end this in Florida. We're going to stop it. And the good news is we have a good example of having done this. The one place you do not see this issue broadly today in Florida is on our colleges and universities. And the reason for that is in 2019, joined by many of these people and the governor, we passed the strongest anti-Semitism bill in the United States. We have rooted out the problem on universities. This year, we're going to bring that same thing to everywhere else. So I appreciate all of you being here. The fight is coming, but with people like my colleagues, with people like Sheriff Chitwood, we're going to let these folks know you're not welcome here in Florida. Thanks, guys.
Representative Fine makes very good points. It saddened me that I was asked to be here today from the standpoint as we shouldn't have to be here today. We should all figure out a way to get along in this world. And for some reason, hate is taking over. And hate doesn't belong in our society. The freedom of speech was coined way back in the 1700s. I don't think that they thought about people projecting things on signs or throwing baggies with rocks and propaganda in your driveway. And I don't think that people really believe that freedom of speech allows you to say the things that are being said against many different groups, whether it's their religion, whether it's the color of their skin, or whether it's where they're from. We're all in this together. And I'm so proud to be a resident of Florida because, as Representative Fine said, there is a bill that's coming through. We will all be supporting it, and we're going to make a difference to give our law enforcement, once again, the tools that they need and deserve to make sure that we keep everyone safe, no matter what your race, creed, or color is. It doesn't matter. We're all in this together. I appreciate you all being here today. I hope the word gets out that in Florida we stand together. Thank you very much.
Before I bring the state attorney up, let's take a look at these cowardly scumbags, and we'll give you a little outline of who they are. At the top is the leader, this John Menendo, whatever the hell however he says it, Menendo, whatever. He's from California. His family owns a very popular restaurant there. His speech and what he was doing, they almost lost their business. So he left California, went to Arizona. Now he's here in Florida. We also know that this group is also in other states in the South, such as South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Florida. The next one is my favorite. I know we have Scumbag of the Month, we have Scumbag of the Year. This in 30-some-odd years of policing, this Michael Weaver Carruthers, to me, he's one of my old-time scumbags. Menendo, he's got stalking, DUI, threat on a school or public official or some of his background. Carruthers or Weaver, whatever name he decides to go by, criminal trespass, pointing aim at firearm or pistol at another, terroristic threats, obstruction of an LEO, theft, aggravated assault, and criminal damage to property. Real good, upstanding citizens. Colby Frank was a UCF student, was arrested for vandalizing the Pulse nightclub memorial. He also was in contact with a couple printers in the west coast of Florida to get banners printed up attacking black males and attacking the Jewish religion. You could go to the next slide. And we know that these folks were all identified being in Daytona Beach. I just want to point out some of their criminal histories. Anthony James Atlick, also known or goes by the name of AJ, he was in Woody's Restaurant. He was charged with murder. He's been charged with assault, theft, DUI, burglary, receiving stolen property. Philip Jacobs, he's been charged with simple battery, failure to appear, hit and run, driving on a suspended or revoked license. Kim, is he up on this one? Kim's up top here. He's been charged with DUI and reckless driving. So Kidder is another one. He's got an interesting criminal history. Public intoxication, aggravated assault, littering, DUI, vehicle theft, possession of a controlled substance, possession of burglary tools, and grand theft. So, I mean, this is what you're dealing with here. You know, this is, and as I talked about when I first opened up, you have their member arrested for soliciting a 14-year-old for sex. But yet they tell you that pedophilia is a crime and pedophiles should be put to death. Well, that's their member. And then the member that opened fire outside of the synagogue in LA. Listen, all this talk, the concern is for all of us in this room, all of this talk, somebody is sitting in their garage being indoctrinated who's going to be the next active shooter based on this, based on what they're putting out there. I don't think they got the guts to pull the trigger themselves, but they know there's somebody out there that will do their bidding. And that's why it's important to show the show of unity. And with that, I'd like to bring up our state attorney, R.J. Larizza.
Thank you, Sheriff. Well, I want there to be no doubt that I stand with Sheriff Chitwood, and that I stand with the folks who reside in this community, the folks who go to school and go to work every day, try to raise their kids and their families to know what's good and what's right and what's important. You know, the ugly face of racism, of what we see here today, unfortunately, it comes back again and again and again. History teaches us that lesson. You know what's important is these folks preach hate and violence. They don't just preach it to each other. They try to reach other folks, especially kids, young people, who might be confused or maybe are not getting the teachings or not getting the attention that they deserve. So my challenge to all of the folks that are watching this broadcast is, talk to your kids, talk to your neighbors. You have to take a stand. This fight is not just with the law enforcement community and the legislature. This fight is in each and every home of each and every family in each and every community in this world. So understand that and take a stand with us as we continue to protect you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you, RJ. Thank you, RJ. Mayor Partington, Chief Godfrey, guys want to come up?
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Partington, Mayor of the City of Ormond Beach, and I want to thank the Sheriff for his leadership in holding this meeting this afternoon. It takes a countywide effort where we can come together as a dedicated group of officials, citizens, residents, and affected peoples to make a positive difference. As a mayor, it's with a heavy heart that I stand before you today to address the disturbing issues that have affected our community. Recently, we have seen a wave of anti-Semitic propaganda being distributed to our local residents, spreading messages of hate and intolerance. I want to be clear, there is no place for hate here. We stand united against any form of bigotry and discrimination, and the recent incidents are not representative of who we are as a community, and the outsiders who felt the need to spread this awful message should know that we are a diverse and inclusive community that welcomes everyone, regardless of their race, religion, or background. To our Jewish friends that are here this afternoon and who have been directly affected by these incidents, I want to express my deepest sympathies. We stand with you during this difficult time, and we will not allow hate to divide us. It is essential that we come together to support each other and denounce these hateful acts. To all of our residents, I want to encourage you to look out for your neighbors and your fellow residents, regardless of their race, their religion, or background. Let us stand together and show that hate has no place in our community. We must work to build bridges of understanding and respect and to celebrate the diversity that makes us all stronger. In times like these, it is easy to feel disheartened, but I want to remind you that we have overcome adversity before and faced many storms together. Let us come together once again with love and compassion in our hearts to stand against hate and to build a brighter future for all of us. Thank you very much.
I would like to invite members of our faith community, Brother Manir, is Rabbi Kane, Reverend Durham, Reverend Gooden, any of our leaders of the Jewish community, please come forward.
Thank you, Sheriff and Mr. Mayor, and chiefs of police, and our legislators, and rabbinical colleagues, and clergy from around the community, and friends. I'm Rabbi Rob Lennick, the Executive Director of the Jewish Federation of Volusia and Flagler Counties. And let's say, first of all, most assuredly, this rash of anti-Semitism and hate is in no way a reflection of this community. Brought here by outsiders, it is an affront to our Jewish community and general community, because let us go on record and acknowledge that our community is one built on love, respect, charity, and compassion. And there can be no greater demonstration of that than what you see here today. Unequivocally, the Jewish community will stand up boldly and in solidarity with our many friends and allies against this blight of anti-Semitism and against all forms of hate, racism, and bigotry. Elie Wiesel, the noted Holocaust survivor and author and Nobel laureate, said this: "I swore never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. We must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Therefore, today, let us resolve never to be silent, ever, in the face of anti-Semitism or any form of hate we encounter. And our Jewish community is ready to stand in an alliance against hate to defend all at-risk groups in our community if they are ever objects of hate, as we are experiencing right now. Dr. King said, "The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty of the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people." Yes, sir. Today, we are gathered here in unity to resolve never to remain silent. Today, we declare with one voice, there is no place for hate in our community. Thank you.